Coming to you from Kathy's kitchen is Lampershire Hotpot. Quick and dirty Lancashire Hotpot. And you'll find out at the end how it went. So I am going to make a quick and dirty Lancashire Hotpot. And by quick and dirty, I mean the meat's already cooked, so it won't be I don't know what you can see. I've tried to set you up so that you're the other side, as I'm left-handed. Yeah, so it won't take as long to cook because the meat's already cooked. But what I'm doing is going to prep the vegetables, and I'm going to cook the carrots and onion down. Am I going to do that? Or am I going to do the meat first? I might do the meat first and then cook the onions and carrots down in the, take the meat out and then cook the carrots and onions quite well before adding chicken stock. It's a bit full. Before adding chicken stock and Worcester sauce and some seasoning. So I'm just prepping these, and I'll slice them once I've got everything else cooking, because these are the last things that will go on before it. I think I put it in. No, I'm going to put it in the oven with these on. I might not do that last potato. This might be enough. Right, so next, onion. So it's what time is it? It's 25 to 10 on a, I don't know what day it is. Come on a Saturday, and I'm just in the mood for cooking. I thought, well, and the other thing is that when you make something like this, like a stew or something, it's always nicer the next day after it's cooled and then you reheat it. So my hope is that yeah, that this will give it a chance to improve. This is my bestest knife that I talked about the other day, that when I first got it, I used to manage to cut myself with it, but I've got used to it now. I mean, as you can see, those of you that are right-handed, this must do your head in. I know that the thing is, I'm used to watching, you know, when you're watching cooking, watching people cook, and you're left-handed, but you've spent your whole life watching people work right-handed, it doesn't have the same impact as when you see something. So even when I see somebody left-handed working with a knife, I notice it. So I know that you'll be noticing it. That's those done. I'm going to cut this in half. Chunky. The recipe I was looking at a few days ago now, it's quite chunky, the vegetables. I did a garden tour earlier, which you have seen, and by the time I'd done that, I wasn't able to then deal with chicken bothering later on. I was just exhausted. I mean, I'm not well. I don't know what's going on. I'll try and get an ENT appointment on Monday, I think. I'm not as dizzy as I was, but certainly off balance. Get another chopping board for the lamb, which we had roast lamb yesterday. It was so yummy. Yeah. Will it be colour coded? Colour coded, see, although I didn't use, I think I've got the green one, and I think that's for the I think the green one is for veg, or is it for fish? Where's the blue one for? Have a look. What does it say on the green one? I can't see it. Green is for veg, I think. Okay, lamb. Bring out your blood. So the reason that this was expensive was because it was boned. And I hadn't realised. Boned and rolled. I don't think it comes much more expensive than that. You live and learn. Come on. Right, any other bits will come off as I cut. I'm doing it a bit chunky, I think. I was watching you cooking the other day, Lionel. I had to stop myself shouting. Well, I did shout at the screen, but you wouldn't have heard me all the way over there in South Africa. You were cooking. What were you doing? Chicken. And you'd got it sort of simmering very quickly. And the thing about when you're cooking meat in like stew or whatever is that you bring it to the to the boil, and then you turn it down, and then you simmer. Because if you continue to boil, you're just going to end up with tough meat. So it needs to be simmered. I think one of your subscribers already said that to you. You need to turn it down to simmer. But the trouble is, by the time you get to that and see that comment, it's a bit late. But yeah, meat needs to be cooked like stew or casserole. You need to cook it slowly. All right. pussy cat. He thinks it's all about her. Right, now I'm going to risk turning my back on this and the cat whilst I wash my hands. What did I say I was going to cook first? The meat. Do I need to? No. No, I'm going to cook the veg. Because the meat's sort of almost cooked. Meow. Go on. Go away so I don't have to watch you. So, what am I going to cook in here? I'm not going to cook it in olive oil. Because you shouldn't cook with olive oil. I'm going to cook it with lard. Lard is what my parents used, what their parents used. Over. I'm going to pause you and move you. Meow. And as if by magic, I've turned you round. I've got the spatulas like this. I don't like them. I don't like silicone stuff. I don't understand why you'd use it in cooking. This doesn't make sense to me. Right, let's see if I can use my newfangled winder-uppery thing. I don't think I can. I think I'm going to have to do it manually so you can see inside. Going to pause you again. Is that a bit better, isn't it? Because nobody's ever seen carrots and onions cooking before. They're on 12 heat. Okay, we're going to go back over to the other side because I'm going to slice potatoes. Oh, haven't washed my knife. Need to do that. Hold on. And we're back in the room. But you're the other side now. Damn. Oh well. So potatoes, quite thin. Let's if I turn this way you can see. This is plenty of potatoes. Probably more than enough. what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt some butter. To butter the potatoes with. I'm going to put the kettle on. To make some chicken stock. Try and work out what this says. Not only is it in French, it's in small writing for young people. Two teaspoons to 200 mils of water. So I'm putting in more than that. I'm using more than 200 mils of water. Not used this before. I bought it because I saw it in a recipe as a coating for, I think it might have been for salt and pepper chicken. I normally use, you know, just a stock cube or something, but right. So I'm just going to put the meat in now. Dad used to make Lampershire Hotpot. We used to use quite thick potatoes. And it was really nice. But the potatoes for me, not that I would think of it at the time, but you know, retrospectively, needed a bit of seasoning. So I'm gonna season these with some salt and pepper. I think this will be a window-worthy meal. We talk about in intermittent fasting, we talk about window-worthy meals. I hate it when I don't have, you know, when I have a short eating window, and I hate not eating quality food in it. Sometimes I don't have any choice, but that's as high as this goes. Right, I think that needs a bit more water. Yeah, I think it needs a bit more. Oh, sorry. About another 100 mils of water. And I'm going to put in some seasoning now. is a mix of green and red pepper. And now I'm going to turn it down whilst I season the potatoes. In fact, I'm going to turn it off because it's going to go in the oven now. So I'll leave that there a sec. Or will I? I thought I was filming. What you missed was me putting the potato on. So I'm going to put it in the oven for 40 minutes at 180. And then I'll take the lid off and give it about half an hour at 180 with the lid off. If you were cooking this with cooked lamb, uncooked lamb, hold on, wait a minute. If you were cooking this with uncooked lamb, you'd probably need to do it for an hour, hour and a quarter with the lid on, having browned it in the pan first, and then half an hour with the lid off. But you need to use your common sense and decide whether it's cooked once the lid. You keep your lid off, and you decide at what level you want your taters at. You know, whether you want them browned or not. But yeah, lamb doesn't take as long to cook as beef, so I reckon an hour and a half at 180 in the oven with the lid on, and then another half an hour with the lid off. But we'll see. I'll leave you here until it's ready. Ooh, yeah, nice and soft. So I'm going to give that's had 40 minutes at 180. So I'm going to give it another half an hour at 180. Oh, and I nearly fall over as I turn to look at the clock. It's 10 to 11 in the evening. And you'll see it next when it's done. So that's had half an hour, and obviously I will reheat it tomorrow and it will become a bit browner. I think the fact that I buttered the potatoes means they're sort of a goldeny colour. If you don't butter the potatoes, they don't sort of come up that same colour. God, it's made me hungry. So that's going to go back in the oven. The oven's off now, and that will go back in the oven and just sit and gradually cool down. And it's going to have 12 hours at room temperature, which will horrify people, but it will be fine. And that's when it will begin to absorb some of the flavours and improve. And by the time we eat it tomorrow around about midday, it's going to be yummy. So that's it from Kathy's kitchen. There's a pussycat sitting at the door waiting to come back in. I better let her in. Thanks for watching. And yes, I'm still in the same position for the end of the video. I've added these on afterwards, obviously. it was nice. I was looking forward to eating it. It was nice. It was well cooked. Potatoes were yummy. The lamb was yummy. It was nice. And it tasted slightly sweet. And I thought, well, maybe it was the carrots. You know, maybe the lamb was particularly young and sweet tasting. And then I thought, hold on, I'm going to have a look and see what's in this, which you saw me using last night. And I know that's back to front. This is poultry stock. And you'll see by my post that I've posted the ingredients. It's got, I can't see because I posted the ingredients on Zoom, but it's got glucose syrup in it, which is quite high up the list. If you know that the ingredients list start with the largest part of the product, it's quite high up the list, and it's got sugar in it. To say that I'm pissed off is an understatement. As you know, I've probably mentioned before, I hate it that the food manufacturing industry adds sugar to things that shouldn't have sugar added to them. And why? Why, Maggie? Why have you added sugar to this? Why? I suspect that at one point, I mean, I don't know, I can't remember now. At one point, this may have had a higher level of some sort of fat in it. And over the period of the whole low fat thing, the food industry swapped out the fat and put in the sugar to maintain some taste. And I suspect that's what's happened. I'm not amused, and I'm going to dump this. I could hand it on, I could give it to somebody, but it feels mean. It's like, here, have this. It's got sugar in it. That's not good for you. Why would I do that? Anyway, so sorry about the ruining the end of the cooking show, but I wanted to say, watch everything that you put into your food, because they hide stuff in it. They're bastards.